Hi. Hi there. It's a nice little close up. Um, Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I sure did. Not to flex or anything, not to be a little conceited, but your boy got himself a new Apple Watch. Only thing of note, I'm not doing a gift haul, but I just showed the password screen. I don't know if that's worth flexing or not, but yeah, I was really happy with it. Enjoyed the family time. Um, had a little fun game with friends, very fulfilling Christmas. So nothing to complain about here. Hope y'all's were also good. Anyways, that's enough chit chat. All right, what are we getting to today? What's the topic? What's the point at hand? You can see right now that there's actually a 16 personalities test on my screen. Whoop de doo. I don't think me and you really know each other that well. All right. I've never really gotten down to the nitty gritty with some people, so or about like how I am and how I act and stuff and what my preferences are. Um, so yeah, I just figured might as well just launch this. Probably not gonna edit this at all. We're just gonna go full raw dog. All right, we're gonna experience it together. That's what matters. But yeah, I haven't taken this test in years, so it might change. It might have changed from when I used to take it religiously because I was like interested in it. I'm trying to remember. I know it was an I. I think it was an INTF or J or something like that. It's been a while, so we're just gonna run it. Yeah. I'll just see how I am, how I'm as a person. Regularly make new friends. Hard disagree. I talk to the same people for like I don't really socialize that much outside my friend group, right? I made my friends. I'm good to keep them. I don't make all that many new friends. I guess I can lore drop a little, but at college, I think I've only made like one friend from my classes, and I've made friends with my coworkers, but only one friend I've made from my classes, which is kind of crazy. But I don't know, maybe the people there aren't my kind of people or something. But yeah, I've only made one actual friend at college. You sue me, sue me. Um, Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. I just say I agree. I like to stimulate my brain, believe it or not. You should feel more persuaded by resonate emotionally than by factual arguments. That's a toughie. Because I want to say that I'm more factual, but in reality, everyone's emotional to a certain extent. I'm gonna go slightly agree. I think I am more swayed with my emotions. You're living in working space. If you could see the floor behind me right now, you would know. I think I keep my college dorm really clean, but right now, I mean, part of it's because I moved a bunch of stuff from my college because I'm staying here for break. And it also just was Christmas. But yeah, that part of my bed, past what the camera can see, it's a bit messy. My floor is messy, so we're gonna have to go with a slight disagree because I do keep my college room clean. I will say that. Usually stay calm under a lot of pressure. People know when I'm clutching up in a video game, I have the worst like clutch up scenarios. Like I can't for the life of me most of the time. Sometimes I do. Most of the time the pressure gets to me. It's kind of lame that the only analogy I have is of video games. I don't really ever had a real life scenario where I need to clutch up. So yeah, maybe on like an exam. Actually, you know what? On an exam, I could sometimes clutch up. It is a lot of pressure for exams. You find the idea of networking and promoting? Yes, that is very daunting. I'm gonna put that all the way up there. I think that is terrifying, and that's why I only really make these videos for my friends, because I don't really care what they think of me. They already know me. Um, you prioritize and plan tasks effectively. Watch including them. No, 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 no. I'm a disagree on that one. I'm a procrastinator through and through, wholly and truly. I've tried to get better at it, but most, if not all the time, I will always complete something. Right. I seldom turn something in late, so I will always do it before it's due. But I will do it last minute, and that's what gives me the drive. It gives me the motivation to do it. And I actually, I know it's like a trope to say, but I think I do work better. Like I put out better products when I'm under pressure, like on the procrastinating scenario, not like, what I was talking about before. People storing emotions, speak louder than the numbers or data. Like, I'd hope so. Like, I'd hope so. I feel like that's kind of like, even though I'm a major introvert, I can understand people's emotions and stories better. I like to use organizing tools like schedule lists. Not really. I kind of just, my days are kind of just like, I just do whatever. I don't really have a goal. Even small mistake, hell yeah. Easy, easy install lock on that one. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting? I wish. I actually wish I could do that. Not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. No, no, I love movie reviews. I don't know if this is known. I love watching movie reviews on YouTube and seeing people's perspectives and interpretations on like stuff I like to watch. Yeah, no, I love that. So I disagree. I like people watching people how people interpret things that I've already seen. You prioritize facts over feelings. Um, I think it's important to. I wouldn't say I do it though. I disagree. I tend to be a people pleaser. Sue me. I know, sue me. Anyways, yeah, sue me. But I don't know. I kind of just I prioritize making people feel comfortable better. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. Yes, that was exactly what I was talking about before. Really worry about whether you make a good impression? No, I worried greatly. I hope I make a good impression. You enjoy participating in team-based activities? Honestly, yes, yes. And pardon the video game analogy again. I love team games. I love co-op games. They're hella fun. I find it really hard to play solo games because I don't know. I just like enjoy sorry, I enjoy other people's company. So yeah, I do like working in a team, and even in class. Like even though I'm not like I don't make a ton of friends. I don't know. Working with other people is kind of chill. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. Holy, like I don't know. It's like a science question. I don't know. Put them in the middle. Part is being sensitive or completely honest. Yes, I think most people that are like, sorry if I tapped out by the way. Um, most people that are like, I'm just telling the truth, and they say like the most like vile thing to you. That's not. You're just being mean. Like even if it is the truth, like you can phrase it better. You can be more sensitive about it. I feel like being completely honest is kind of just like an excuse to be rude to people. I think it's kind of just not a nice thing to do. Sue me, But no, I think most people are in that similar vein there. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas, but not really. Kind of just like chilling in my own niche. You're prone to worrying about things that will take a turn for the worse. Yeah, I don't like waste my time with that, but I do worry a bit. Enjoy solitary hobbies or activities. See, disagree. Um, Not that I don't have any solitary hobbies. Like I play my ukulele, I draw sometimes. Um, but I like doing stuff with other people. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories. This honestly, honestly, I was cooking up some shit in fifth grade. I had like a writing arc where I wrote like fantasy stories. That was a time. I wish I could look back on what I wrote because I knew at the time I thought it was straight heat. I thought I would be a writer, like a creative writer. Um, Kind of fell out of that passion though. Not gonna lie. Not to say that I don't think I have what it takes. I think my vocabulary is kind of expansive enough to write some heat, but um, definitely not like a bestseller or anything. But I probably like if I had the opportunity to, I probably would take it if I could make a decent living. I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed. Favor efficiency in decisions, even if like I feel like most of these kind of questions are just worded like differently, but are the same concepts like over and over. Like no, I kind of prefer people's emotions. Prefer to do your chores with it. I procrastinate that shit. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. In disagreements, oh brother, I, everyone knows, or everyone that knows me knows, I'm a massive arguer. I will argue over the littlest thing. Not to say that I care all that much about what I'm arguing about. I just like arguing. I just like taking the side, and I will be the villain if I have to. I will take the wrong side. And even if I know I'm arguing a wrong point or a moot point, I will still do it for the love of the game. All right, I will still be difficult just for the fun of it. So I'm gonna say I agree that I sometimes when I'm arguing, or most of the time, I will just disregard other people's emotions because it's funny, and I like to make my point. So yeah. Although, let me be clear. Some people just have wrong opinions. Okay, some people sometimes I'm just objectively right, and it just doesn't get through their heads that I'm right. And I know that sounds conceited and egotistical, but it's true sometimes. Okay, tangent. I had this debate right in high school. All right, and I know someone is gonna know what I'm talking about. You know who you are. I asked, or it was posited, right? The question was posited. What do you think is smarter, horses or elephants? Okay, and I thought this is a no-brainer. I said elephants, of course, elephants. The, it's like they have the s- oh my god, simile? Yes, simile. As or fuck, the memory of an elephant. That's a metaphor, or that's a simile. You get my point. They have a phrase that's called like this person has the memory of an elephant or whatever, because they're smart, because they remember shit, because they don't forget. If a poacher kills one of their young, they will remember their face for the rest of time or something like that. I don't know, but I thought it was a no-brainer. Also, they just have enormous brains. And I know that's not like blue whales have enormous brains. They're not that smart, but for a tertiary, am I using that term right? Whatever, a land animal mammal with a big brain, I trust that logic. But there was a counter argument brewing, right? Brewing about how horses are smarter. And yes, horses are smart, all right? I'm not going to deny that. They can learn tricks, they can be taught things by humans, but elephants don't need to be taught how to be smart. They just are smart, okay? And you can teach an elephant how to paint, okay? I showed them a video of an elephant actually painting a self-portrait of itself. It was like it was, and it wasn't AI. Okay, so don't give me that. It was a real video of an elephant painting, and it was beautiful. And that can horses paint? No, no, they can't. And do you know how much brain power it takes to have control over another appendage? Like, not what you're thinking, but it's just it's you just have to understand that I was right in that scenario because elephants are smarter, objectively smarter than horses. I don't care. You can ask ChatGPT right now. I'm sure it will back me up. It wasn't really a big thing around that time, but point is, I got bamboozled, and people were just arguing for the sake of arguing. But I was right, and I can't believe that. Usually, when I'm arguing for the sake of arguing, I like know internally that I'm wrong. But these people did not know that they were wrong. They just were arguing that horses are smarter. Anyways, I don't want to take too long with that. That was in the past. Water under the bridge. I forgive the person. We're all good now. We're all chill. But yeah, on to the next one. Usually wait for others to introduce. I'm not going out with my meat swinging, being like, "Oh yeah, hey guys, I'm Jonathan. I'm the funny guy." No, no, I'll let other people introduce themselves first. Your mood can change very quickly. I think within reason. Like, if I was like in a good mood, I was like in a win streak in a video game, and then someone dropped on me like a close friend died. I mean, my mood would change pretty quickly there. Um, or if I was depressed and someone told me I won $1 million, I'd be happy as hell. So within reason, no, my mood does not change quickly. It's hard to get me that like mood swings. I don't really experience them that often. So I'm gonna go slight disagree. I can see scenarios where it would happen though. You're not easily swayed by emotional arguments. Now, when I argue, I do like facts. All right, not this again. Before I said that I listen to emotional stuff, right? I can understand it, but I typically like some facts, right? I don't like just straight emotional, you know. appealing to the heart, to the mind stuff. So if it's just purely emotional, no. You gotta sprinkle some facts in there, you gotta spice it up a little. You often end up doing things that mega agree. Yes, of course, of course. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Yes, debating's fun. Um, I would have joined the debate club if I wasn't such a big coward. Simple as that. You prefer to be around others rather than on your own? I say within reason, yes. With friends, yes, of course. With strangers, not so much. But I'm assuming it's gonna be with friends, or I'm gonna interpret it as friends. Become bored or lose interest from the. No, I love, dude. Dude, highly theoretical discussions are so funny. Okay, what if the next 5 seconds, like every part of your body just turned into slime? Like, what would you do? No, but like every part, like even your brain, like you couldn't even think. What would you do? Like you'd just be on the floor. Some shit like that. That'd be funny. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself like, no, I follow my stomach, bruh. No, you call me fat ass, whatever. But I follow my stomach, bruh. I go with my gut. All right, that's the saying. I don't follow no heart. Right? You don't see me tapping my corazon right here. Thumping it, being like, show me which way to go. No, full on stomach, full on gut feeling. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work. So work is a different beast. Work, you gotta like wrangle it around a bit because most of the time I kind of just accept what they give me, but sometimes I have to tell them no. But it's study schedule. No, I just study before the exam. I don't like sit down after class and be like, what did I learn today? No, it's a waste of time for me personally. You rarely second guess the choices that you've made. Who doesn't? No, like genuinely, who doesn't? I I'd be surprised if you didn't second guess any choices you made. Yeah, no. I think about the past so many times. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. Would you? Would you? I think I'm lively. I don't know about outgoing though. I think that's where it kind of peters off. I'm gonna go slightly agree. I think I can get lively. I think I am a soul. Okay, I am a joyous soul that kind of not really brightens the room, but dimly lights it. Kind of like the situation we got over here. So yeah, I will do a slight agree there. You're drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. No, not really drawn to writing. Sorry, but it says such as I like drawing a bit. I kind of picked it up on and off and on and off. But not too much. You usually base your choice on objective facts. It's this jibber jabber. Now my own choices, I try to be objective. Like I try to be as objective as possible, but emotions kind of find their way in there. But overall, I try to be objective. You like to have a to-do list for each day? Nope. Fly off the seat of my pants. You really feel insecure? Nope. Why? I feel really insecure. You want to make phone calls? Now, that's a good question. That is a good question. I don't like when people call me out of nowhere. Um, I get, I don't know. It just feels weird when people call me out of nowhere because I feel like either it's an emergency or they're just the kind of person not to text. Because I will, believe it or not, I don't have like a vibration whenever someone calls me. There's so many times where I just like take my phone out of my pocket and turn it on, and it shows like someone's calling me. I'm like, damn. Yeah, I don't have it turned on. I always have been do not disturb, so I always like see that they called me. But I don't really like when people call me out that much. I think it's a bit jarring. If you text me before and I don't respond, then I think that's fair game. I think if I don't respond, that means either I didn't see your text message, and so it's reasonable for you to call. I think that's fine. I don't really go out of my way to avoid it though, right? I don't like I I don't tell people I don't want to call. And I always accept it if I see it. So I'm gonna say disagree. I think I do accept calls. You enjoy explaining unfamiliar ideas or viewpoints? Not really. It's hard to change my viewpoint, and I know that's a bad thing. I'm not really all that open, but again, I am morally grounded as a person. I don't feel like I'm one of those people that need to have their views changed all that much. I'm willing to hear people out, and if they have a good argument for it, sure, sure, I'll do the tango. I'll dance along with your opinion, but overall, I'm pretty set in my beliefs. You can easily connect with people you just met. Depends. I see. I've made some really good friends online, just by meeting them online. Um, through some means, and you have to easily connect with those people, or else you wouldn't have the connection to begin with. So I'm gonna go with a slight agree. If we're talking about in person, not really. It's more of a vibe, but overall, not really. Plan to get overrated. Oh, sorry, it's a bit late. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna go with slight disagree. I kind of like, if something gets interrupted, then you kind of just take the steering wheel and drive it to the next best option. I don't really care about going to the Burger King down the road if there's a McDonald's up ahead and there was a crash uh, that was blocking the Burger King. So, sorry to make a food analogy. I'm a big ass, fat ass, whatever. You are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago. Hell yeah, I am. I'll be thinking at night in my bed. I know that's like a cliche, but there's a reason it's a cliche because it happens all the time. I'll do that plenty of times where I think about where it's all gone wrong. You're not too interested in discussing theories on what the world can. No, I love hypotheticals. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I'm not really much of an emotional person. Like, I'll get fake angry or fake sad or fake happy or whatever, but that's for the bit. I do it for the gram. I think I'm in pretty good control of my emotions overall. Make it certain you might feel how they feel. Again, it's one of these. Well, I don't know. Yes, I do care about people. I'm not a solo person, right? I care about other people. Sue me. Your personal work style is close to spontaneous. Yes. Oh, oh, brother, I'm good at those spontaneous bursts. It's not things highly. No, dude, I'll take any glazing I can get. Maybe that's because I don't get glazed often, but you know, it's nice. It's nice to be glazed a bit. Um, getting called funny. I like when people do that because it makes me feel good inside. It makes me smile with joy. Um, and I don't think, oh, it's only a matter of time before they find out I'm a fat fucking chud. Like, no. I just kind of enjoy it in the moment. Because you operate under the belief that they're always disappointed in you. So you don't have to worry about when they're gonna be if they just are. Isn't that crazy how that works? But yeah. I like people who compliment me, so I don't really worry about what happens after. I would love a job that requires you working alone most of the time. Depends. Um, this is never gonna happen, by the way. It's pure speculation, right? We're in a speculative zone. But if I was like, I don't know, a professional gamer or something that was like streaming solo, that'd be kind of fun. But again, that doesn't really require you to work alone. Like, you kind of interact with people all the time and shit. So I don't know. No, I like working with people. If we're talking about like just go to like Antarctica and like gather data all alone, even though it's not ever what happens in the real world, no, I prefer not. For other people, you believe that pondering abstract. What do people do with philosophy degrees? I've always wondered this, and I never bothered to search it up. But like back in the day, that was a big thing. Like you could go to a school or university and then come out a philosopher, and people would glaze the living hell out of you for just thinking. Um, but like if the phrase "I think, therefore I am" was never discovered up until now, and someone said that shit, they'd just be like, no shit. Like, yeah, it makes sense to me. You think you're Einstein or something? Like, people would make fun of that. So this is all to say that I feel like nowadays it's not as important to like ponder abstract philosophical questions. Now, is it a waste of time in the sense that it's not interesting? No, I took a philosophy class, and I probably will in the future during my college career. But yeah, I don't think it's a waste of time in the sense that it's interesting, but I don't think it's really all that important. Now, sue me, right? Sue me on that one. But yeah, I don't know. I think philosophy was more of an important thing back then when we didn't have as much outlets for thinking or as many people to think. So I'm gonna go slightly agree. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmosphere than to quiet. No, no, give me the quiet places. Only exception is arcades, like Dave and Buster's. I love arcades. I think they're awesome, and they are bustling and loud and shit. But I don't know, they're just interesting. They're stimulating. If a decision feels right for you, you often act without needing further proof. Kind of. Again, it goes back to the gut reaction. I kind of just go with what I feel because often when you second guess yourself, usually the first option is always better. I will say that. I often feel overwhelmed. Not often. As someone who is jaded from years of Overwatch gameplay, where there's 20,000 voice cues going in the background, and your screen looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. Like, yeah, you're used to it. Like, I don't really get overwhelmed visually. Maybe I don't know, like emotionally overwhelmed, like so many emotions flowing inside of me. Not that either. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really feel overwhelmed all that often. You can complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I try to. Um, I try to do stuff like that. I try to usually do stuff by the book. I don't know. I don't like freestyling with my Legos. I like just following what the guide has to say. I prefer that. No. Well, if we're talking like escape rooms and puzzle games, I feel like the the steps are creative solutions. I don't know I'm gonna go middle. I don't know. I like creative solutions that are part of the game's design or whatever I'm doing's design. So yes and no. I don't know. It's kind of in the middle there. You're more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. I don't think I'm really smart emotionally. I don't know. No one's ever like, oh yeah, that's a lie. But most of the time, no one asks me like, what would you do in this situation, Jonathan, O wise one? I don't really come off as that person, and that's because I'm not. I'm not really good with my emotions or being in tune with that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I just kind of make decisions. I could lay out the options, and I'm like taking other people's emotions in mind, sure, but my own emotional intuition, no. Why do I feel like throwing up right now? We'll get to that. Struggle with deadlines? Not really. I turn stuff in on time all the time. You feel confident that things will work out for you? I will put a slight agree. I'm still kind of nervous about what the future has for me. I'm not worried. All right, make a distinction. I'm not worried. I'm just a bit nervous, but I think everything will work out in the end. I think I will enjoy what my future has to offer, and that's what matters. Um, so yeah, let's see what I get. Let's see. This is the big thing. I am a male. Don't need to send my email. INFP, a mediator. That doesn't sound all that cool. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all of those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. The deep roots are not reached by the frost. J.R.R. Tolkien, my boy, wrote the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings series. Possess rich inner world brimming with imagination, empathy, and idealism. Your compassionate nature and deep-seated desire to understand the human experience makes you natural confident and source. Okay, maybe I did this shit wrong because what I just said was the exact opposite of what the outcome was. My fault. Maybe I filled this out wrong. I don't know, but we're already off to a rambunctious start, if I do say so myself. First life with a sense of wonder, always seeking meaning. No, not really. I mean, I'm not opposed to authenticity, but I'm not like outwardly seeking it. Uh, I'm not. I'm not all that innovative or unique with my solutions to complex problems. Come lost in daydreams? No. I am an empathetic person, sure. Like, I don't think it's that deep. Oh, holy fence sitter, holy middle ground. Did something change in my biology? I swear, I was a devout introvert. This is so close to being middle. What happened? Okay. I think maybe I interpreted too many of the questions as for my friends instead of for random strangers. Because there's a line that I draw there when it comes to that stuff. So don't know. I think that was probably the issue. Um, Slightly more feeling than thinking. Very perspective, even though I thought I'd be judging. Turbulent. You're likely self-conscious and distressed, success-driven, perfectionistic, and easier to. That's actually kind of right. I will agree with that one. What can I do as a career, guys? Let's think. Let's think. Careers in counseling, teaching, writing, or the arts often appeal to your nurturing nature and imaginative spirit. And the plan, I will record this right now so I can look back in the future, is to be a lawyer. Not really much in tune with the creativity side of things, but you know, maybe there's some wiggle room there. I don't really care about personal growth. Holy money block. Yeah, can I just see the famous people that are also this Tolkien, Williams? Wait, I'm comparable to Shakespeare himself. Who the hell is Bjork? Hey, she looks cool. Alicia Keys, Tom Hiddleston, Julie Roberts. So, oh my gosh, Johnny Depp, my boy. Okay. Um, Exciting stuff, I guess. Um, I guess I just help settle problems between people, and people love to confide in me because I am a wellspring of knowledge and intuitive wealth. I'm not reading anything out, by the way. That's just the summary I'm giving myself. Um, I guess, come to me with your problems. You'll leave with worse problems. I wouldn't trust myself. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I thought this would be more of an insight into my inner being, but I think this is completely wrong. And anyone that knows me knows I'm a devout introvert. I'm not gonna say I'm not a little extroverted when I'm around friends because I am, but overall I love staying home. I love just chilling out. I don't like going out. You won't see me at a frat party, unless it's with other. I'll go with other people, but like me balancing parties alone, even with one other person is a stretch. Two people is pushing it. Three or more is probably preferable. Yeah, I don't live that kind of life. That's not my thing. That's fine. Um, I hope you learned something about me. This has been a very emotionally attuning experience, me and you. Guess you clicked the end recording button instead of the pause. Me, I did. Anyways, after a quick rewatch, I discovered that I say "sue me" a lot. I've never used that phrase all that much before. I don't know why it sprung up like a well in this video particularly, but sue me, you know. And other news, in the intro clip, you can literally just see my bed and there's like some shit on it. So there's evidence that I'm not really an organized person. Oh yeah, just one more thing. Sorry to cut myself off again, past Jonathan. But yeah, I just wanted to end off the video by saying, hope your holidays are great. Hope your future stuff is great. Regarding the New Year's and starting the new semester for you college people. You know who you are. But yeah, who am I kidding? I'm gonna post another video before the New Year's, anyways, just for some fun and laughter. But yeah, just till next time, guys. Adios.